Sidon look government, inna the rain again. Start or join group to solve problems for your community.
To, da kai da ke da ita da shi da kowa nake so na yi magana da. Me ke faruwa? Kana son karuwa ga ka zaune bakin rijiya amma kana jin kishin ruwa? Gangan jikin siyasa. In ta dangwala ka dangwala na dangwala. Ina amfanin ana yi ba da kai ba? A turancin Najeriya to an gaya maka. No sidon look. Kana sidon kana lukin komai na ƙara lalacewa? Ina ka ga daman ƙorafi? Da masu jini a jika ake yi, watan matasa. Kwankwasa a buɗa ki shige, dago ka shaki iska ko kalime, da ƙyar ka sha yafi da ƙyar aka kama ka. No sidon look. Matasa ke siyasa. Yin rajista, karɓi katin zaɓe, yana da amfani ƙwarai kwa.
No sidon look.
No sidon look.
No sidon look.
Make una no sidon look o.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Being kind to family is natural, being kind to friends can be a necessity, being kind to colleagues at work may be an attempt to look smart and witty, but being kind to strangers is an act that will set you apart from every other person because it shows that you have a malady.
Money to help my family.
The thing that she's doing, she's making this thing. She's making hair and washing clothes to people. That is why she's getting her money and helping me too.
And taking care of herself.
My son can play. After playing, in the afternoon he go sleep. After sleeping, he go wake up again. Start his playing. So he never starts school. Now January.
Starting off a beauty regime, Grace was hosted at the spa where she got a flawless facial finish.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacqueline Ajay. I'm the CEO of Jackie Secret Beauty line, and here is Grace. It's a festive season and we're trying to do a makeover for her, a facial treatment called Indian facial treatment. We're going to help extract all the white hairs, black hairs, and just give her a very nice look this festive season. while we're waiting for this to sit, you notice you're already having two different colors. These ones are the dried parts, and this is still going to be dried. So while it's drying, is helping to firm up the face, is removing impurities, is tightening her facial pores. So that's the work of the mud. This is an Indian mud, because we're doing an Indian facial.
Bella's Beauty Park. Bella's Beauty Park is a hair, spa and nail salon. And today we are at the nail station. I'm Nenna, and with me here is Grace. I'm going to do a type of nail called the French tips, and we're about to start.
Makeup is said to highlight the inherent beauty of a woman. These words were proven when Grace was on G Sparkle's seat.
I know that my wife, she is beautiful, but I can't wait to see the day that she will come with another more beautiful.
Smile for me, even if you're sad. Oh. Be good to me, even if you're bad. Oh. Stay with me, even if you've got some place to be. Pray with me, even if you know believe. Smile for me, baby me please. Smile.
Stepping out in her attire, Grace was transformed. What a beauty.
I feel very happy as I see myself like this. I've never put nails in my life. I've never done makeup like this before. This is the first time. I needed to take time for my makeup. 10 minutes, don't finish my makeup. I'm not used to. My husband is a security. I used to black hair so that I could support my husband. And the amount what I dey make no go pass 1,000. No dey do any other work.
His husband had some words of endearment about his wife.
Yes, I feel very happy because it's something that I never experienced it. But as I now, I'm very happy. I am very excited.
I don't have eye pencil. I will be have them.
Her woman's joy knows no bounds and a smile deep.
And here we go then. Great atmosphere and the allure and glamour of this international Champions Cup. Rashford inside the area, Rashford scores! Well, been chucked home by Marquinhos. Chiellini has scored. Pastore in the box. And Mondi! Iwobi, yes, Arsenal level it. Shot from distance, oh, what a goal! An absolute doozy.
It's new, it's here. It's premium entertainment for everyone from August 1st. Get popping every day with Ebony Life TV. Mondays are from Nollywood. Tuesdays are for novellas. The Next Generation have a blast on Wednesdays. Thursdays are for drama. Fridays are there to excite you and binge every weekend.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Good afternoon and welcome to PTV Today. I am Daniel Waboso. President Muhammadu Buhari has sympathized with the people of Kebbi State on the flood disasters that destroyed their farmlands, crops, and homes. The president made this known in a statement signed by his spokesman, Garba Shehu. Buhari said he was highly touched by the sheer scale of the losses suffered by our hard-working farmers in Kebbi State. According to him, the flood disaster represents a setback for the efforts to boost local rice production in the country, for which Kebbi is playing a leading role. He commended the state government for the swift measures put into action to alleviate the hardship of their citizens, and equally directed Federal Emergency Aid Agency to support the victims. Some civil rights activists have called on Nigerians to discountenance the ongoing cross-carpeting by politicians and focus on good governance, social justice, and accountability. The group made this call in a chat with PTV correspondents on Friday. According to the group, the defection showed that the desperate politicians are committed to their pockets and political survival without anything else.
A good number of Nigerians were thrilled when these politicians were announcing their defection news on Tuesday. But for this group of young politicians, the massive gale of defection is not based on the interests of Nigerians.
Now, my views on this issue of cross-carpeting, defections, moving from one party to the other is very clear. Is very, very clear. And we need to be, as Nigerians, we also need to be clear about it. The first thing that this tells us is that it tells us that we are dealing with people without principles. That you are dealing with politicians, you are dealing with the ruling class that lacks principles, basic principles. Because you cannot be a member of one party for 3 years. On the eve of an election, you are joining another party. Simply to secure your seat, to secure the fact that you can run as a candidate and be re-elected. I mean, it tells you that there is no principle involved, there is no program involved, and certainly our interest as Nigerians is not at stake. What is at stake is their pockets, is access to those seats where they want to retain. That is what is at stake for them.
The general consensus here is that these defection antics are familiar gimmicks played by politicians when election draws near, and Nigerians must ignore it and look out for good leaders.
My take is these are just some kind of dramatic moves to distract the Nigerian voters. They do not bring us any other option, they bring us the same thing. I'm not particularly moved at the defection from A to B or B to A. I'm not going to mention parties, but is there anything new coming out of that system? It is no. So I just see it as a means to deceive or distract the Nigerian voters, the Nigerian public, not to focus on what the issues are. The issues at the moment are that people are losing their lives. The economy situation in the country is very bad. People find it difficult to survive. Young Nigerians that should be in school cannot be in school. Nigerians that have gone through school and need jobs do not get jobs. We are not well represented. We are not occupying our rightful place in the globe. This is what is really important. This is what we should be focusing on. This movement and the camping from here to there or forming coalitions are just tactics that these same people use to deceive us so that we forget what the focus should be. It's just a drama.
It's an individual factor. Perhaps if you look at the way it works, we talk about party ideology. In an established sector, such as a political party, you're supposed to have reasons why you join the party. And when there is a case, because there is a reason for them to do that, you need to harmonize yourself amicably in order not to wash your dirtiness in public. But since they have chosen to go the other way, in line with the trend of Nigerian politics.
At the end, Nigerians are called to be calm, calculated, and be ready at all times to ensure that democracy is not truncated. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Abuja.
Out of 23 local government chairmen in Benue State have dumped the APC for the PDP. The party chairman defected on Friday following Governor Samuel Ortom, who recently left the ruling party. The chairman included Anthony Shawo of Goma local government area, Justina Soka of Bukuru local government, Mwese Ubebe of Konshisha local government, Blessing Unogwo of Ado local government, Virginia Bindi of Katsina local government, and George Ali of Otukwa local government. Since the defection of Ortom, the State House of Assembly has been thrown into confusion, leading to the impeachment of the State House of Assembly Speaker, Tekimbi Inyagi. We're going on a short break now. When we come back, more stories. Meanwhile, the no automatic ticket principle of the new APC national chairman is attracting reactions in spite of the mass defection that hit the party in the last few days. Oshiomhole has ruled out automatic tickets, return tickets to APC members in the National Assembly. PTV's correspondent Daniel Azuama reports that Nigerians remain divided on the matter. The report is presented from our studios.
These are members of the APC House of Reps caucus in a solidarity visit to the National Working Committee of the party. The visit is coming at the wake of the defection of 37 APC House of Reps members to the opposition PDP. But in spite of this, the party maintains that aspirants must earn their tickets. Reacting to the development, Nigerians believe Oshiomhole is acting as a Democrat.
I dove my heart for Oshiomhole. If anything has happened to APC in recent time, it is the coming of Oshiomhole as the national chairman of APC. Why should there be automatic ticket for any individual? In the past 2-3 years, what has the lawmakers done that make them deserve automatic ticket? These are people that day, night, afternoon, they think about what gets to their pocket. They have looked at Nigeria as a country where they represent themselves, they are not representing we who has taken them there. We saw them as better eyes to go and represent us, but they get there. What have they done for us? I respect Oshiomhole every day for that singular act he has taken.
It's a normal thing to go with the process of having primary election first before anything. It's not normal to give them that direct automatic ticket so that there will be a very concrete and selective election. You understand? Because from the point of view, it's not normal. So many people in the party will feel bad for you to come and give some certain set of people automatic tickets without having a primary election in the house.
But these Abuja residents say the idea is coming at the wrong time.
Some days ago, we saw the mass defections of the lawmakers from the ruling party to the opposition parties. And I think what Oshiomhole should be talking about now is, talking to make those who are still have confidence in the ruling party to have confidence in the party than the way he's talking about. For instance, the number of people that defected to that party are people of strong political values. Even though in his last statement some time ago he said they are big masquerade with no political values, but he's not to be talking like that, because in such a way that he's talking is still affecting the other ones who are still behind. So I frankly look at the statement of Oshiomhole at this particular period that it is null and void, and it's not expected of a chairman who is just not up to 2 weeks on the seat.
I believe so much that Oshiomhole is just playing what I name selfish interest. Maybe he's trying to fight for the advantage of the party, in the sense that is what he said concerning there is no automatic ticket to anybody that's coming for a National Assembly or the House of Rep. It simply means that Oshiomhole is not there for, he doesn't have the interest of Nigerians at heart, because I want to emphasize basically on Nigerians, not on the party. You know, while if I should make any statement based on Nigerians, then what I will reflect his saying or whatever he said to Nigeria or what is happening in this country at this time. Oshiomhole is working for the party. It's working for the interests of the party. It's working for the interests of the the ruling party, which is the APC, and as well as the interests of the Mr. President.
Ahead of the 2019 general elections, the APC say it remains a party to beat, having 25 governors and still holding majority in the National Assembly. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Abuja.
The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, says the Itakpe-Ajaokuta Warri Rail project is about 80% completed and will soon be ready. Amechi disclosed this during the inspection tour of Itakpe-Ajaokuta Warri rail line in Agbo. He also stated that the rail line would be completed before the scheduled date, adding that the tracks were ready, only the stations were left to be completed. Amechi stated that the government had no apology when it comes to borrowing to fund infrastructure in Nigeria. The managing director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidet Okiria, said that by September, the rail operation would commence to maintain the tracks. According to him, if the government waits for all the 12 rail stations to be completed, the tracks will go bad. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said plans are underway for the decentralization of the country's seaports. Osinbajo stated this in Lagos during a stakeholders meeting to discuss the traffic congestion in Apapa and its consequences on Lagosians and the country. Emmanuel Bagudu has the details.
The trouble with congestion in the Apapa seaport has left many Lagos residents in a pitiable state.
How come these entities are not entering into the port? The structure of the port, as it is now, can no longer accommodate the volume of the activities that we are giving.
But this stakeholders meeting is aimed at finding a lasting solution to the challenge. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo reiterated the commitment of the government to reducing the pressure on the Apapa seaport for easy business activities.
Ports were not in frequent use because of the security situation around those ports, Warri, Port Harcourt, on Calabar, and all of that. It will be good to use those ports more frequently, and that will, of course, decongest the Apapa Tinkan ports.
For his part, the Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode described the situation as a national emergency, declaring the presence of 86 tank farms within Apapa.
Beyond border towns, we will now ensure that our pipelines are working.
Minister of Transport and Director General of the Nigerian Port Authority stressed the need for the assessment of the terms of the concessioning of the port.
For the report, as approved by Cabinet, I will go back to Cabinet to see whether we need to review the issue of the concession.
As a government, we need to define and understand the policy of intermodal transportation system across the board for all port locations.
With these deliberations, Nigerians and indeed importers will be looking forward to seeing a more friendly business environment in the Apapa seaport. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Lagos.
The World Health Organization says millions of people who have viral hepatitis are unaware and unable to receive treatment. The Global Health Agency raised the alarm in a statement by WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus on Saturday as part of activities marking the World Hepatitis Day. According to WHO, viral hepatitis B and C are major health challenges affecting 325 million people globally, and they are the root causes of liver cancer, leading to 1.34 million deaths every year. The World Hepatitis Day focuses on raising awareness of the global burden of viral hepatitis as a major health problem in need of an urgent international response. The first batch of 540 Kano State intending pilgrims is taken off to Saudi Arabia for the 2018 Hajj. The pilgrims departed the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport on board a MAX Air Boeing 747 aircraft at exactly 12:23 a.m. on Saturday. Hajia Hadiza Abbas, the public relations officer of the State Welfare Pilgrims Board, told the news agency of Nigeria on Saturday that the pilgrims arrived the Holy Land safely. She said the pilgrims, comprising 292 males and 248 females, were from Ngogo, Dala, Gwale, and Fagi local government areas of the state. Meanwhile, the state governor, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has charged the intending pilgrims to be good ambassadors of the state and the country while at the Holy Land. He gave the charge while addressing the pilgrims shortly after their departure to the Holy Land from the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. And foreign scene now, Vice President Saulos Chilima of Malawi, who recently quit the ruling party, has announced plans to run for president. Chilima said his administration would investigate alleged corruption among officials of the current government, and anyone at fault will not be spared. The improvised Southern African nation has been rocked by corruption scandals over the last decade, and the issue has resurfaced in the run-up to the national elections next year. Chilima, who quit the ruling Democratic Progressive Party last week in protest over alleged corruption, is seen as the biggest threat to President Peter Mutharika in 2019 polls for president, parliament, and ward councillors. 75 people accused of security-related offenses, including senior Muslim Brotherhood figures, are to be sent to Egypt's top religious authority to decide whether they would face death sentence. They are among more than 700 people accused of illegal protest and murder of the 2013 sit-in, which ended in deaths of hundreds of Brotherhood supporters, dozens of police, when security forces broke in up violence. The accused face a range of sentences, including execution and life in prison. Egyptian law requires any capital punishment to be referred to Grand Mufti Sauqi Alam, Egypt's highest Islamic legal officer, for an opinion before any execution can take place. A raging wildfire in North California has killed 2 firefighters and forced tens of thousands of people to flee their homes. The fires in Shasta County are being sucked up by strong wind to form fire tornadoes that are uprooting trees and overturning cars, fire officials say. The blazes, known as Car Fire, have destroyed at least 500 structures and are threatening thousands of homes. Firefighters are battling the blaze, which is only 5% contained so far. The wildfire began on Monday and has scorched over 48,000 acres, about 194 square meters of land, an area larger than the city of San Francisco. In Russia now, thousands of people have taken part in Russia's in-city across Russia to express their anger at government proposal to raise the pension age. Demonstrators in the capital, Moscow, carried banners bearing inscriptions, "They do not want to die at work." The government says it wants to raise the pension age from 60 to 65 for men and from 55 to 63 for women to help cope with a shrinking workforce. But union warns many people will not live long enough to claim a pension. The World Health Organization says Russian men have a life expectancy of 66, while the women is at 77. More than 12,000 people took to the streets of Moscow to protest at the controversial plan. And to the U.S. now, where the former Archbishop of Washington, D.C. and one of the U.S. Catholic Church's most prominent figures, Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, has resigned in shame after allegations of sex abuse with minors and young seminarians. McCarrick, 88-year-old, is the second cardinal to lose his red heart in living memory. Pope Francis announced today that he has accepted his resignation. A press statement from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops revealed that the Pope also directed McCarrick to observe a life of prayer and penance in seclusion until the end of the canonical process against him, stated a July 28 press release from the Vatican said McCarrick submitted his letter of resignation to Pope Francis on Friday evening. And in sports now, Australia's Wendy Tock on Saturday became the first female skipper to win the World Yacht Race. Talk emerged the winner after 11 months spent racing a fleet of 11 yachts. Reports say Talk arrived to throngs of speculators lining Liverpool's Royal Albert Dock, having completed 40,000 nautical miles across 6 oceans off the helm of Sanya Serenity Coast. Australia's Wendy Talk on Saturday became the first female skipper to win the round-the-world yacht race. Talk emerged the winner after 11 months spent racing a fleet of 11 yachts, reports. Mesut Ozil fired Arsenal to a 5-1 friendly over Paris Saint-Germain on Saturday as he cast aside a turbulent week after quitting Germany's national team, claiming racism. Ozil put Arsenal ahead in the 13th minute before Andre Lacazette's quick-fire double and late striker from Rob Holding and Aiden Nketiah against a youthful PSG side. The International Champions Cup win in Singapore was also a boost for Arsenal's new manager, Unai Emery, against his former club. Now under Germany's Thomas Tuchel, Ozil, named as captain after his storied week, was quickly into his stride with midfielder partner Henrik Mkhitaryan against a PSG lineup shorn of his World Cup stars. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City showed their human side in the sympathetic manner with which they treated David Silva over the premature birth of his son, Mateo, the Spanish star told the Daily Mirror. Silva, who has become a City favorite for the role he played in the 8 years at the club in winning 3 Premier League titles, 3 League Cups and an FA Cup, said those months of playing back and forth between England and Spain to spend time with Mateo were the toughest of his life. Mateo was born extremely premature in December last year, and Silva missed 4 games over the busy festive period as a result. That's what we can take on PTV today. Many thanks for watching. I am Daniel Mwaboso.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Sunana Yakubu, amma an fi sani na da Yax. Abu mafi mahimmanci shine har yanzu muna zaune da ƙwayar cutar polio a ƙasar mu. Wasu sun san digon rigakafin polio, wato digo biyu da ake bada na baki. Wasu kuma ba su san da haka ba. Wasu suna tunanin wannan digo guda biyu sau ɗaya kawai ya wadatar. Shin digo biyu ya wadatar? Bari mu bincika. Yaya aiki?
Lafiya kalau.
Digon mai guda biyu kawai zai sa soya kosai?
Ba zai isa ba.
To, ta ce ba zai isa ba. Ina zuwa. Na gode. Shin za ki amfani da digon nono guda biyu kawai ki dama fura?
A'a ba zai yiwu ba gaskiya. Saboda nonon ne yake taimakawa wurin dama furan.
Na gode. Tambaya nake, shin digon ruwa biyu kawai zai isa haɗa shayi?
Ai ba zai yiwu a haɗa ruwa da shayi da digon ruwa biyu ba. Dalili kuwa ai ba zai isa mutum ba. Dole sai ya kai kaman kofi ɗaya.
Barka da.
Barka gare.
Da Allah tambaya nake so yi.
Allah sa na sani.
Shin digon man fetur guda biyu, digon man fetur guda biyu zai isa ya sa wannan mashin aiki?
A'a ba zai sa shi aiki ba gaskiya.
Dalili fa?
Saboda ai bai wadace shi ba.
Haba.
Kwarai da gaske.
To nan ina zaka?
Dan je nan bani.
Da Allah bari bi ka. Allah bai na wani.
Lafiya lau.
ƙwayan gishiri 2 kaɗai shin zai isa ya sa naman nan daɗi?
A gaskiya ba zai isa ya sa naman nan daɗi ba. Sai an ɗan sa gishirin da yawa tukuna sannan a haɗa sannan ya garwaye naman har ya yi daɗi.
Na gode. Kuma yadda muka je, ɗigo 2 kawai bai sa ya wadatar da wani abu mai ma'ana ba. Haka ma ɗigon rigakafin polio. Dole ne yaro ko yarinya su samu ɗigo 2 akai-akai na rigakafin polio. Wannan ɗigo 2 akai-akai shi zai wadatar wajen kare yaro ko yarinya daga kamuwa da cutar koko kowace irin cutar polio.
La, my name is Femi Anikula Pokuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
See you, if we not talk, nothing will change. See, don't look government, in the rain again. Start or join group to solve problems for your community.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Hello and welcome to another educative and informative episode of PTV Situation Room. I'm Aisha Jibrin. Situation Room, as we all know, is the only program that answers the questions that are bothering the insinuations of events in your minds. Now, of course, my program today, as always, would introduce guests who will give you real-life experiences. They will dissect all of the worries and clarify all of the subjects that seem to be gray areas for you in the polity. Now, today's episode is one that is quite punchy. Everyone has been on one form of social, terrestrial, or whatever media because they want to be updated and being to know about the event that is happening in the country. We saw yesterday where the police reports came out that the IGP and the police in general is invited Senate President Bukola Saraki to come and answer questions bordering on the Offa robbery. Yes, Saraki recently came off his false asset declaration charges by the Supreme Court where, everyone congratulated him and that was one victory to many. But that didn't last for so long as this Offa robbery questions have come up. He was supposed to appear before the Special Police Unit today at 8 a.m. Now, everyone sat and we're wondering, let's see how that will play out. We only woke up to see something else in the news. We had a report that there were security operatives laying siege to not only the Senate President's residence in Maitama, but also that of his counterpart in the National Assembly, Ike Ekweremadu. There's been a lot of back and forth, and that is what we're going to come and talk about today. There's been another breaking news headline that came to us about 13 senators defecting to the PDP. All of these and more will be the thrust of today's episode of PTV Situation Room. After this break, we'll come back and have our reporter with me in the studio who will give us live on-ground experience of what it was like at the residence where he saw the police take siege. And then again, I have another guest who will come and highlight and talk to me about the implications of all that has been going on this morning. Please. Now, the statement by Ekwerimadu's special advisor on media, Uche Anichukwu, said neither police nor DSS invited the lawmaker, noting that he was expected to preside over Senate's plenary today in the absence of President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, because, of course, like I said earlier, the Senate President was invited for questioning by the police. Now, the statement read, the Apo Legislative Quarters residence of the Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, is currently under siege of men with the Nigerian police force and operatives of the EFCC. With the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, expected to report at the Intelligence Response Team of the Nigerian Police Force headquarters, this Senate President is expected to preside over plenary. They took over the entire vicinity of his home before 6 a.m. and there was no going or coming out. Meanwhile, there is no prior invitation to the senator by any of the security agencies or the EFCC. Now, this has brought up questions. This is the residence of Ike Ekweremadu early this morning, and we can see people trying to protest, the siege laid in his house by security operatives. We can see different, bosses that have security operatives there. Right now, while this is going on, we're joined by Daniel Nwagboso, our reporter, who was live on ground and witnessed this happen. Now, Daniel, tell us from this clip that we're seeing, what exactly played out at the Deputy Senate President's house, being that it was expected to be in plenary in place of Bukola Saraki?
Thank you very much, Aisha. First, what happened was that we got the report of the House of the Senate President being besieged by security forces. And, we saw pictures and videos. And we also learned of similar occurrence at the House of the Deputy Senate President, which is just here in Apo. And so we quickly, dispatched there. We got there, it was raining heavily. And then we drove past his residence. And then we drove back, trying to see if we can get pictures and videos and see what exactly is going on. Now, the street, at the beginning of the street that leads to Ike Ekweremadu's house, we saw a Hiace bus, a smaller Hiace bus, filled with policemen, who were armed, And then if you look further on that same street, we also saw a longer coaster bus filled with security personnel as well. Now, the way these buses were parked, they blocked the road. The way they were passed, they blocked the road. So it means there's no going in or no coming out. And when our cameraman tried to get pictures, we were stopped. And then we we showed them our identity and that we're pressmen have come to do our job. And they said, okay, that they can't talk to us or anything. And they said, okay, what is going on? They said we should leave, you know. So whilst we're leaving, on the other part, there is a shopping mall that's just opposite, or slightly adjacent, the Deputy Senate President's house. We saw that blue car you're seeing there was the first car we saw, and it was there, and then we started seeing people gather, and then we spoke to a man who was wearing red, who was in a red shirt. He was drained by the rain, and we asked him what was going on. He said that he can't talk to us until other people come. And we asked other people, how do you mean? He said there are other protesters who are coming. And they said, oh, maybe there's something that's going to go on here. He said, yes.
It seemed like it was planned.
Yes, like it was planned. And so we were there and waited. Well, you wouldn't say it's a public protest. It's just a protest that was put together by PDP youths, because we spoke to one of the aides to the national youth leader of the PDP, and most of the people there are PDP youths. Maybe they've got some other people, but you know, most of the people who are frontliners in that protest are PDP youths who have come there. So as we were there, more cars were coming in, more buses were coming in with people, and as you can see, people were there, you know, protesting. Now, our cameraman on ground tried to get pictures and everything, and when that happened, the security agencies came right and asked for the card containing the information, but nonetheless we had already sent back up to the office. So I mean, we're safe.
So they collected the footage, you know, that you and your cameraman were trying to obtain. From
Yes, actually, but we had already sent a few back up to the office, and so that was much. That's why we have the footages that we have showing our viewers right now. So this is exactly what happened. And then later we now heard that the president is in plenary and is presiding over the House, right, as in at the time. I'm wondering what exactly happened.
What happened?
You know, and after a while, from our other reporters who were at the residence of the Senate President, they said after the security forces stayed there for quite a long time, they left.
So there was no sign of the Senate President at his residence as at this morning while the police was laying siege there?
Well, with the way they laid siege, you would think he was there. It was because his convoy was there. His official convoy, everything was in his residence. So you would think he was there. But apparently, how he managed to get out and get to the National Assembly to preside over House plenary is what many people are thinking might just be a very, very strong political shot that must have been taken there. But
okay, from this clip, I know that we have one of the protesters talking. There's an audio of a conversation he was having with the camera crew.
Pure tyranny. We thought we are operating under a democratic regime, but what we are seeing is worse than even a military regime. This is a Gestapo-style intimidation of the citizenry. This is a Gestapo-style intimidation of the lawmakers. This is a Gestapo-style intimidation of democracy, and we are saying that we will not take it. We are against it. If the security forces want to kill us all, let them come and kill us all. We are peaceful demonstrators. We are standing firm for democracy. Democracy is under threat in Nigeria, and if we continue like this, we are no longer going to have democracy. What we are going to have will be dictatorship, military dictatorship, and autocracy. That is why we are here. We are here to demonstrate against what is happening.
Now, I haven't taken a look at those were the protesters, the pro-PDP protesters who were protesting against the siege that was laid, you know, to the residence of the Deputy Senate President. But there was no sight of him while you were on ground there. Did you at any time see?
No, there was no sight of him. But when we spoke to the protesters, they were just convinced that he was in there. But we also have reports that he is in the house as well.
Yeah.
You know, so but there was no sight of him. I mean, we didn't see. We couldn't get close to the street. We just stopped at the first bus that had the security men. But we spoke to the protesters, and they were convinced that Ike Ekweremadu was inside his residence. But one thing that people would think is, or one thing that comes to mind to residents or to citizens is, why Ike Ekweremadu? He's not embroiled in all of the drama. He's supposed to stand in for his boss, who should be attending to a police invitation. Saraki should have gone or should be in the SARS office to answer questions as regards the Ofaba robbery that the police had written to him late yesterday. And so Ike Ekweremadu, in all ramifications by the Constitution, should sit in and preside over the house. So why besiege Ike Ekwuremadu's house? He, up until this morning, had no invitation from the EFCC, from DSS, from any security agency. He had no invitation. So why lay siege on his house? These are things that they'll begin to think. But when we left and came back to the office, we later heard that the security men had left. You know, but we also have sent our own guys out there because they are back at his residence to know if there are any developing stories to this report that is currently ongoing.
That is one, you know, real life experience, and that Daniel was right there this morning when all of that was happening. Also protesting to this, the Senate has protested against the siege laid to the Abuja residence of Deputy President of the Senate, Ekweremadu, by operatives of the EFCC and the Nigerian police. Now, raising a point of order, Senator Chukwuka Utazi said he urged the Senate that the demand for security operatives should be withdrawn and that lawmakers should proceed on their annual 8-week recess, which was scheduled to start on Thursday. The prayers were unanimously granted. Senator Barnabas Ganade, however, prayed that the lawmakers first adjourn for 30 minutes to allow them to reconvene and adopt the votes and proceedings of the Tuesday plenary. It was unanimously granted. Now, we could see that not only the pro-PDP protesters were live on ground, the Senate also, while the Senate President shocked everyone and walked into plenary today, also protested said siege that was laid to his residence. Daniel Waboso, thank you very much for giving us an insight. And like you said, we already do have Tim back at the Deputy Senate President's house, even though, you know, there's been motion that they should be withdrawn. Let's see how all of this unfolds, and we'll definitely bring you the updates. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have another guest who will come and highlight some other key incidents that happened today.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are confused. Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
under the law. No religious body in Nigeria
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are confused. Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
under the law. No religious body in Nigeria
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
You're welcome back. And before we went on that break, I told you that there'll be another guest with me in the studio. And this is quite a very key one because this guest is going to come to talk to me. Here's a journalist also. Today is the journalist day because we are the ones reporting to you, you know, what we saw, the incidents that has happened. It's days following now that we would now have, you know, comments from key players and lawmakers that were involved in all of this. As we're speaking right now, the plenary is on 1 hour, you know, recess, and they're going to come back and still deliberate. So there's a lot of events that will be unfolding. And like we said, more of our reporters are out there at this strategic point. Stay tuned on BTV, of course, where we'll give you updates every hour on the hour on Situation Room and on our other bulletins. Welcome to the studio, Kingsley.
Thank you very much.
Now, Kingsley is here to discuss, you know, how this has been unfolding, what has been happening. Now, Kingsley, with the Senate President Bukola Saraki, you know, he won in the Supreme Court his false asset declaration, you know, charges, and now this offer bank robbery has, you know, always been there. It was supposed to always come and, you know, answer questions, you know, at some point or another. When he was invited yesterday, everyone was expecting that by this morning, you know, he'll make an appearance there and have, you know, reporters even, you know, went there to like wait and see what was going to happen, only to figure out that, you know, there were operatives at his residence and he walked into plenary. So having observed all of this, you know, and having been reporting all of this of late, what can you say?
Well, first and foremost, not everyone expected him to be at the SARS office in Wizardry today. Not I, for one, did not expect him to be there. Because come to think of it, you don't ask. You had the whole day to write him a letter inviting him to have an audience with whoever he was going to have an audience with at SARS. You had, starting from Monday, as a matter of fact, starting from the week before being last week, you had all that to do that. You didn't do that until 8 p.m. yesterday, going by the Senate President's response. Until 8 p.m., you wrote him a letter at the close of work, asking him to appear by 8 a.m. the following morning, regardless of whatever schedule he had. What if he was sick? What if he was ill and hospitalized? No, but away from that, I didn't expect him to feature at SARS today, and I never expected the police, of course, to have laid siege at his residence, alongside the residence of the Deputy President of the Senate. I never expected all that. And I also never expected that amidst all this, that the President of the Senate will find his way to the chambers. I never expected. It's a beautiful drama playing out. It's such a lovely drama playing out. It only goes to tell you that some persons are good at the politicking. You know, the President of the Senate, for one, is good at what he does. I must confess that he must have learned very well from his late dad. He must have learned very well the rules of politics. But in all, as funny as it seems, it doesn't leave a good commentary, like I have said time and time after, on our politics. It tells the outside world that we are still rudimentary in our politics. It goes to tell the outside world that we are not too far from gutter politics. If you have invited him to come over, and he has indicated his intention to come over, why then do you have to send a troop to his house to go late stage? He was more or less under house arrest. What was the logic in that? So for me, it is a gamut of drama. Good enough, we are yet to see the end to this.
Okay, now having all of this play out, what does this say so much about our security? Are they being manipulated, or what can we say with their actions, you know, so far? Why, like you made mention of the fact that, you know, they sent this invitation quite late, and there were insinuations, according to Bukola Saraki's, you know, official Twitter handle, where he laid down insinuations and claims that, you know, he was privy to, you know, about this being happening at this time because they were trying to prevent, you know, him from defecting and influence all of that. What does that say about our security apparatus being used and being manipulated in the way they appear to be manipulated?
It is a sad commentary that at this point in our national life, having moved away from 1999, when democracy officially returned, or when we were officially taken back to democracy, we saw the immediate past administration before this one. I have never seen a president in the history of Nigerian politics that was so criticized, that was so maligned, that had a lot of slinging targeted at him, like former President Goodluck Jonathan. But in all, he did not come down to the pedestrian level we are experiencing today. It was a free polity. As a matter of fact, the Freedom of Information Act 2011 as amended was passed into law in his tenure. That gives you an idea of the extent, the latitude we had, the latitude for self-expression, the latitude for democratic participation. That gives you the idea of how much we would have succeeded at democratizing Nigeria. Goodluck Jonathan gave us all that experience. What we have today is a very dangerous precedent that our security outfits are being politicized. It's as dangerous as anything you can think of. It begins to paint a picture of Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe. It begins to tell us of the apartheid in South Africa. It gives us a picture of an authoritarian regime that does no one any good. For what is worth saying, this is democracy. Democracy is entirely different from the military era. Now, what we are beginning to see can be likened to the body language of a dictator. I have been fighting with myself not to believe that Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari, is descending this low. I want to believe that the president means well for this country. Unfortunately, there are a lot of political jobbers surrounding him who are more interested in how they can please him, who are more interested in their loyalty to the president and to the ruling All Progressive Congress as against their loyalty to the interests of the nation. So in answer to your question, it does not speak well for our security outfits that they allow themselves to be used for political gains.
That is one way to have broken down all that you said. Now today, earlier I made mention of the fact that in Senate today the senators protested against the siege that was laid to this morning by police operatives, and also aside from that, one key thing that happened was senators' massive defection to the People's Democratic Party. That one was. Yes, the deputy, the Senate president, insinuated that, last night in his tweets. But then again, it happened, and how did you feel?
I don't feel anything. I saw it coming.
Oh, okay.
I saw it coming. As a matter of fact, the 14 senators that defected from the All Progressive Congress to the PDP, I had expected more than that. I had expected more than that. Let's not shy away from the fact that a lot of persons, many members of the All Progressive Congress, are dissatisfied with what is going on. Take, for instance, Buba Galadima. Buba Galadima, from the days of the Congress for Progressive Change, has been a strong ally to Mr. President. Buba Galadima was instrumental in the formation and even the existence of the defunct CPC, one of the legacy parties, of course, that fused into the APC. And he was also instrumental in the early days of the APC. And then he chose to pull away. And then went with some loyalists to create what they call the Reform or Progressive Congress. That gives you an insight into what is happening in the APC. Look at the last APC National Convention. Adams Oshomole was not the only person who came out to be the national chairman of the APC. But by some sort of arrangement, he was made to be the consensus candidate. And you think people were happy? Of course people weren't happy. Look at the traverse of the president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. from all that has gone so far, although I still believe that over the years, as with time, we get to know more about the transaction that happened at this. But it was obvious that the traverse of Bukola Saraki was politically masterminded. And then you come down to the traverse of Senator Dino Melaye. So when you look at the whole thing, I say to those who were at the National Assembly, because we were covering the National Assembly when he became the president of the Senate. I said to them going forward that what he was going through was going to create fractions in the APC. Because his emergence as president of the Senate, take it or leave it, did not go down well with the political powers, some leaders of the APC. And these leaders did not know when to sheath their swords. Their egos were bruised, no doubt. But sometimes you look beyond the ego to the end product. If you continue to fight this man, who no doubt is a political colossus in Kwara State, so he's got a critical mass in Kwara State, and he came with this mass, and this is a man that has been in the Senate, has been a governor. He knows the rule of the game. He knows how to draw followers to his side. And you were fighting him so dirty, people were watching. Because injustice to one is injustice to all. It's only a matter of time it will get to the rest. So they were watching. His loyalists were watching. Those who were neither here nor there, they were on the fence, they were also watching. All they needed was a little conviction they would sway over. And today it's happening.
Now, not trying to trial the case, of the Alpha Bank robbery here, but then, these suspects that have come out to, point fingers at him, and then the evidences of, them being people that were part of his cabal. Does that not say that probably the Senate president in himself is not all white?
Nobody's all white. Just let's hit the nail where it belongs. Nobody is all white. But as regards the Alpha Bank robbery, this is a criminal case. And not just a criminal case, it borders on homicide. So until a thorough investigation is conducted, I don't want to dabble into that matter. I know the tendency of heads of whether security agencies in Nigeria or MDAs to politicize a couple of things. I would rather ask that not for the sake of what is happening now, for the sake of the institutions in question. This matter should be thoroughly investigated. And if not thoroughly investigated, then keep it out of public space. The robbers, for whatever reason, fingered the president of the Senate in that incident, for whatever reason. I don't know how they got to that conclusion. I am not holding brief for him either. My take is investigate this matter properly, get to a logical conclusion, having exhausted all parameters, and then we can begin to talk about it. But let's not allow ourselves to be muddled up in the dirty waters of politics. However you see it, this group of politicians, as I have always maintained, are fighting for their interests.
Now, talking about said interest, what does that, let's look at that vis-a-vis 2019 elections, because we're at the eve of the election. Come after Osun, we're there already.
Oh, sure.
So what does this have to say for the people? Okay, like we're reporting, people are seeing what is happening. People is the commentary, like you said, is nothing to write home about. What does that have to say for the electorate that would, later are to come out to say they want to vote? These are the same crux of people who are migrating and immigrating within one party to another. That goes to say a lot about the internal, democracy and framework of our political parties on one hand. And on the other hand, how does this restore confidence to the electorate?
The question is, does it even begin the process of building confidence in the first place? I fear for 2019. I fear for 2019 on two fronts. One is the integrity of the results from that poll, especially for the presidential election, the integrity of that result. Because look at the shenanigans that took place in Ekiti. The Ekiti election, of course, we are beginning to get reports from the Ekiti election. And some report tells you that the Ekiti election was below standard. Intimidation was rife. If, as a matter of fact, when in the run-up to the Ekiti election proper, reports came out that more than 30,000 troops were deployed to Ekiti State. Agreed, of course, that sometimes politics in Nigeria can be very dirty, and then there is the need to ensure the security of lives and property. Agreed. But when you deploy such massive force for election, what it does, among other things, is that it militarizes the election. It makes people who ordinarily will go out to vote to be scared to go out to vote. Because nobody, of course, can vouch for what will happen next. So in a way, whether advantageously or inadvertently, you have disenfranchised a given population of voters. To whosoever benefits, I don't know. But you have disenfranchised that. So let's keep that as one conversation, as a sad conversation on its own. And then we look at the incidence of vote buying. That's another sad commentary that gives us it's like a crystal ball. It gives you an insight into what is going to happen in the next episode, because it's like a movie now to me, in the next episode. Then we move away from, because let's even come down home. Soon after the Ekiti election and the winner and the loser was declared, the federal government, through two channels, made very remarkable statements about the election. First, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, released a statement that the Ekiti election was a testament to the will of the people. Now, my take on that is this. The minister or the Ministry of Information and Culture is not an arm of the APC. It's an arm of the federal government. The PDP, the APC, the ADP, whatever PPP you put in there, they all belong to the federal government. All these institutions, these components exist, this political component exists because there is a Nigeria in place. So, unfortunately, the Minister of Information was not speaking as a spokesman of the APC. And then another information came from the presidency. My point is this: these things were not necessary to start with. Then we move away to the integrity of the result of the polls proper. It was, at best, what we had in Ekiti can be likened to the election in President Obasanjo's time, with all due respect to him, where it was the might of the incumbents that counted, not the will of the people. Now, we move away from that and we come to the APC Osun State governorship primary election proper. There are complaints coming from left, right, center that that governorship primary, even though they did direct delegate system, was at best not what it should be. So when we sum up this pocket of incidents, it only gives us an insight that if we do not begin to speak up now, if we do not begin to engage the public space now, what will we see in 2019 is something that we may not want to talk about.
That is not something that we're definitely looking forward, to experience. Now, INEC has gone to, start training their legal team on how, best to handle the 2019 elections in preparation for it to come when, appeals come against, protests for votes and all of that. Is that a right step in the right direction, would you say? Is the INEC preparing themselves well enough? Using the Ekiti, as parameters, with what happened, having so much security force, and then vote buying was still allowed in a situation that was supposed to be a secret ballot system. How, it happened. What is the place of INEC in all of this?
Well, first and foremost, for an election to be successful, it's not just the job of INEC. You have INEC, you have civil society organizations, you have the political parties, and then you have the security agencies as well. going by media reports, INEC didn't do so much to boost our confidence in its capacity to deliver a free and fair election. Of course, we hear of reports of collusion between INEC officials and security officials. We heard of all those reports. Now, in the context of these reports, INEC didn't do much to deliver a credible election in Ekiti State. Now, INEC is training its legal team ahead of what you can sum up as a post-mortem of 2019. Good as it is, I can only hope that we do not have a situation where we begin to have tribunals, where we begin to have people going to tribunals to seek redress, petitions flying left, right, center. Of course, it will be a few days for the lawyers. They will buy more cars and have a better life. But I hope we don't get to that point. Now, that brings us to the point that the security officials, INEC itself, the civil society organizations should all do their part. And it is necessary for us to begin to, at this point, sound a note of warning to every player in the 2019 election that it's not a do or die affair. It's not your father's house to start with. You are going there to represent a people. And there is no law that says you must pull down the house just because you knocked at the door and no one opened it up. No, there's no law that says that. I love the direct delegate system that the APC has adopted. I hope that other political parties will also adopt it because it is the reason for the failure of the PDP in 2015. The absence of that direct delegate system. Because the direct delegate system is an instrument of internal democracy. But away from that, INEC, the security officials, everybody should think of doing the right thing at the beginning and not hoping that it gets bad and will begin, because I have not seen in Nigeria, since we started practicing the voting system of democracy, that a president is voted in. Of course, our current president, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, we know how many times he sought redress at the tribunal, and we know the results of it. So if INEC is training its officials, its legal team, to be ready for post-mortem, I don't think it will do much difference, because I have not seen an incumbent, except in the case of Jonathan, relinquishing power after grabbing that power. So best bet, let's make hay while the sun is shining. Let's prepare to have a credible election free of the shenanigans and the razzmatazz of the Ekiti election. Let's prepare to have a credible election free of the madness of the Osun primaries. Let's prepare to have something that we can call a solid election, instead of training our legal team to begin to run around when we know we can make no difference.
Thank you so much, Kingsley. That has been one enlightening one. I don't think there's any other way to end today's episode than with what you said. Let's get ready for free, fair, credible elections. Gone are the days of saying, 1994, 1993 elections was, the freest and the fairest that we've had in the country. Let's look forward to, a recent time. Let's have that
Let's
very
make
soon.
a statement in our own time and
Yeah,
not
we
quote the
should.
past.
And not quote the past. Start, post-mortem awards and all of that. Thank you so much. It has been an enlightening one. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much.
Now, for Words of Time, this is where we're going to be calling it a wrap on today's episode of PTV Situation Room. Like the program highlighted from the beginning, the happenings that has been going on, in the Senate as a whole, with the lawmakers, the back and forth, the defection, the massive defection that happened today that has made the PDP, the majority in the Senate House. It's just one that one will look back and be like, okay. It's not a good commentary, as Kingsley has said. We listened to Dana also, who made mention of all of the things he saw on ground at the residence of the Deputy Senate President. There's a lot that's happening in our polity, and like I said, do stay tuned when we'll give you and bring the updates to you. But before I go, I must insist that Nigeria is ours, it's our home. There are no two Nigeria. It is just one. We should do the right thing. We shouldn't be preparing for the wrong thing. Yes, there should be preparations, on ground for things like that to happen, but we should concentrate more on doing the right thing and coming out the best. For want of time, this is where I'll call it a wrap. But of course, same time, same station next week. A better date with PTV Situation Room. I remain Aisha Jibrin. Bye for now.
And here we go then. Great atmosphere and the allure and glamour of this International Champions Cup. Rashford inside the area, Rashford scores! Well, it's been kept home by Marquinhos. Chiellini has scored. Pastore in the box. And Mondi! Iwobi, yes, Arsenal level it. Shot from distance, oh, what a goal! An absolute doozy.
It's new, it's here. It's premium entertainment for everyone. From August 1st, get popping every day with Ebony Life TV. Mondays are for Nollywood. Tuesdays are for novellas. The Next Generation have a blast on Wednesdays. Thursdays are for drama. Fridays are there to excite you and binge every weekend.
Welcome, oh. This is a pleasant surprise. I don't know, say you dey come. How village?
It is coming again.
Where your slippers? Fast, fast, fast. Mama Ngozi, now what do you want again this evening?
Where una two things so una dey go? Eh? I hope say no be waiting at the think. You know say they cook my sweet atang soup. Eh? Or you know they smell as the aroma they tantalize the whole area.
I don't get your time.
Why you go get my time? Why your pikin no go dey do water poo poo? Shebi when this boy dey small, I be don't tell you make you go find padlock. Tie that in tiny waist, you no gree hear me. You see am now, ba?
Ngo, you still dey on top this your padlock matter. You know say levels don't change.
My sister, leave that thing. You dey hear me? Even if level change, you no go ever reach your side. No carry your wahala come meet me this evening, oh. I dey warn you, oh.
Mommy! I don't blame you. If to say your mama and your papa take that padlock, lock this your mouth, or for hear word.
Now what in the worry Sunday?
The water, Popo. But I don't dey give am ORS sharp. I haven't joined her with zinc tablets.
Come, my grandson. You go well, yeah? Yeah? Come.
Drink now.
It's not sweet. I don't want to take.
See, if you take this ORS as they give you, I promise it will make you well before your birthday. You want to enjoy your birthday? Mama, I get something you define. I just ask because I see you there.
Now you get this house, I've been at my son's sisters get her.
No, I just the wonder say.
Mind your own business. Anyway, the last time where I come, I been forget your husband picture. The time we be small picking. I don't find him for village. I don't see him. I feel make I come check him here.
Okay, some picture there for wardrobe. I go bring and make you for check. But Mama, I'm surprised say you never ask of your son sister so. Have you not two don't talk before you come?
My eye blind, she. I know she say sisters not there for house since I come. I know they go anywhere. I go there here until sisters come back, come meet me here.
Sunday body.
That now why I come I come buy some more ORS. I want to keep for house because I don't know when this kind of thing will happen again.
You be correct, mother.
Thank you. I beg you know any carpenter? My drawer for house spoil, and I dare they lock important things keep. I don't want to make Sunday and his sister spoil them.
I get. I saved the person number for phone. Make I find out.
The one fall down?
Yeah, this one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Big girls. See, they waste bottled water. Your money don't come, I think. Eh?
Now the ORS when I prepared for Sunday last night, I won't do new one this morning.
Why you not just do this one? Eh? Why you they waste them?
See, the yesterday on no go work again. You must to prepare fresh one every day.
I don't understand.
You want to say as I do am? Or you won't go?
Elisa.
You see two of these small container. Now you go turn inside this big one. I go give you 1 liter. Now be the complete quantity. Before you go come put the ORS sachet. This sachet really see here.
Eh? All this wahala. For waiting now. Why you not just give her water drink?
You don't know say the salt inside the water they very important.
Wow, Elisa, the way they advertise this thing, it sure say me self no go begin drink them. Eh? Make my body they fresh like picking them on.
If you like, take a bath. Now you sabi.
Or make a climb roof, go cut zinc, begin chop like corn.
This woman, no. No wahala. By the time you mama out your property from your leaking roof, no be person go tell you go run, come down, go shop, go buy zinc tablet.
Oh, not to cure diarrhea.
No. No be diarrhea messing with that. The zinc tablet na vitamin to help the pikin intestine strong. No be diarrhea medicine at all. You dey watch wetin I dey do so?
Yeah,
go pour this thing carefully. Make sure say you shake am well. See, if you look, you know they see the salt again. You shake am well. Shake.
If you see the thing where my eyes don't see, since why I come here, a good side I come here. I tell you, plenty things.
Mama, I beg, carpenter go come repair the drawer wey spoil for inside room. I don't drop 1,000 from top table. Help me give her. Thank you.
What is this to see for that one body safe?
I sure say na juju. She take catch my son sister.
I believe you, Mama. It don't tell where nobody sees sisters for this water now. That woman if you don't use and do something. In fact, if you don't even take and do ritual.
Now well done. They look for Eliza.
Where your equipment?
My waiting.
Your waiting. I ask you, say where your equipment. You dey talk of your waiting. You well at all? I bet you dey drink kerosene.
I bet my son come make we go. Come make we go. Come. I know say Eliza say make you come repair this drawer where the lock don't spoil. But to get another way she forget to tell you. This one, she don't lose the key. And it's the important thing where they inside the way she need. She won't make you open them. That way she dey go that her tailor shop for market. You know, say so inside evening she go come back. She say, make I give you 500 naira. But me, I add another 500 naira, making it 1,000. Take.
Kafa, you take small for that place. What happened?
Guy, I tell you.
What happened? You meet the husband?
Oh boy, this one past meeting the husband. Guy, we go enter Central Market.
Central Market? What did happen for Central Market?
I say Eliza get tailoring shop for there. You know go too hard to find.
Alright, I know.
Just Sunday don't grow finish. Ah, fine boy. Your mama did shop, huh? Okay, we'll go Sam, eh?
Get my pikin down. Sunday, go and play with your friend. Machuku, now what did they find for here? I better come up from my shop.
Eliza, I don't say sorry now. Even God said the forgive person.
You want forgiveness? After 4 years, Abi, I don't forgive you, Tay. Just they come out.
I promise you, which I will tell you, will interest you.
I say come out from my shop. Abi, here they pay you.
Anyway, Sha, I've been going to your house this afternoon. I met your husband, Mama, for house. She thinks I'll be carpenter. She want make her break one lock for your drawer. That woman, she get some kind of plans, so you could take care for the woman, no? I don't talk my own.
Waiting concern you, concern waiting they happen for my house. Eh? I better come up from my shop.
I don't tell you. I don't tell you.
Machuku. Now, what do you mean by say my mother-in-law they try break my drawer?
Oh, what do you they even find in my house? You won't put me for trouble. You don't know say I be married woman.
I know say you be married woman before I carry my legs go your house. And I also know say you don't stay where your husband don't leave, where you never come back house. If you go some kind of just for this in a town, you don't get the kind of we no go get to here.
I hear. Waiting you say Mama want do. Mama, well done.
Sunday, my pikin. You see they do water poo-poo?
No.
Your mommy give you zinc tablet today?
Yes, my mommy gave me in the shop.
Good. I beg, go close that door. You know, say some people not get dog for their village. They think say here in a hotel for mosquitoes.
Good evening.
Mama, meet my old-time friend, Mama Chuku. That's why you just become carpenter by force.
That's what I say. See the evil time is about the wonder.
Now, wow. These women don't even want to know who you be. They just assume say you be carpenter.
As I just enter here, they just begin to attack me with questions left, right, center.
Where are your equipment?
You not carry your equipment, come. What's be that woman name, self?
Now, Mama goes be that now. Our very own Radio Otana.
That woman go look like a person go like trouble, eh?
Tro, you never say anything.
So you mean say after 4 months with your husband to travel, you never hear from him?
Brother, now so I see him. The thing even tire myself.
And you know if you caught police?
Police? What thing police go do? I beg, I don't get police wahala. I don't get time for police.
Just make sure you stay strong for your children, eh?
Oh, for do now. I go stay strong for them.
I come carry Sunday, my son.
You dey Chris. Something they worry you for brain. See, as I dey look you, so just they come out from my front.
Me my girl right now. I've been only you born am. Don't be my son too.
Which kind of rights? Which kind of stupid rights? You just come here after 4 years. They tell me say, me my girl rights. See, make I tell you something. Sunday, no be your pikin. Go find your pikin for where you keep and they hear me so.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Action.
Like everything else, the 21st century art has diversified from the traditional painting and sculpting to a more computerized and advanced medium, hence digital art. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing about digital art. What is digital art and what does digital art entails? I am Cynthia Eduje. Welcome to Art Talk. On a previous episode, we have shown you the various types and forms of art traditionally. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing more about digital art, and we're going to do it in a more amazing form. And we're going to be having a guest that will be telling us more about this art and also doing a demonstration for us. See, all those packages will come only after the break, so stay tuned.
Action.
This episode, we're going to be having a digital illustrator that will be telling us more about digital art, and his name is Nosa. Hi, Nosa. How are you today? It's like you like coming here a lot.
Yeah, a whole lot. I like coming to this place.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is it because of the serenity or what?
I'd call it peace. It's more like peace.
Aww.
The river, the wind, the air, it's coming.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very, very
so can you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Nosa, like you established, Nosa Okulegbe. I'm from Edo State.
Okay.
I studied architecture. I think that's about the
architecture.
basics. Yeah, I studied architecture.
Digital architecture.
Yeah, you see. So it's more like it's thing I picked up. So don't get to that. But.
That's good. So please, can you tell us more about what digital entails?
Digital art is it's big. So what I would say is any art form that's created with the digital process that includes using computers to create these art forms. They are all digital arts. It is very, very diverse. I take the part of illustration, but you have digital sculpting. You have what you see in movies. You see a big monster come out of nowhere. You understand?
Yeah.
Those monsters are not real. They were created digitally.
Wow.
And that's still digital art.
Amazing.
So you have so it's very, very big. It's diverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one are you going to be telling us today?
Okay, digital illustrations.
Digital illustrations.
Yes,
That's what you're going to be doing for us today.
Yes. A common term will be cartooning.
Cartooning. Ooh.
Yes.
that's pretty good. Like the ones who watch on TV. So we're going to be seeing more of cartoon today.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to be animated. Let me know it's the hope. So we're going to have something very, very basic.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, artists have tools.
Yeah, of course.
This digital art. So what are some of the tools for it?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's digital art. So the tools are required. First of all, you need a computer. Yeah, it's digital. So anything, it would first of all require a computer. And then depending on the paths you are trying to follow, like I'm an illustrator, so I would need a graphics tablet.
Okay.
A graphics tablet is, kind of a board. I have one during the maybe I'll show you one. So it's like a board I use to send direct drawings to the computer. You draw on the board and then it shows on your computer.
Okay.
So it needs a graphics tablet. Yeah, that's about it for a digital illustrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just okay. So can someone use a laptop for it?
Yeah, but then it has to be high end. It has to be really, really functional.
Oh, okay.
Because if not, you have limitations.
Okay. Yeah. Is this kind of art? Is it that very expensive? Because all the things you'll be calling are things that are not normally known to be used by artists, though.
Okay.
So are they pretty expensive?
You see, the word expensive in itself, I would say it's relative. Yeah, because if I say expensive now, somebody that's earning $1 million a week would say that's really cheap.
Okay.
So depending on who is buying,
it
might be expensive or cheap.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you ask me, for the average Nigerian, it's relatively affordable.
It's relatively affordable. You said you're an architect.
Yes.
Is it because I know architecture? It's related to art because it has to do with the lighting and drawing and all that. So, why did you decide to add this to what you did? Because I'm trying to link both of them. Is it your zeal for architecture that moved you to go into this, or I want to see how it's being related?
Oh no, actually, it's the other way around. You see, I loved art from day one, from day zero. Since I can remember, I've loved art. I doodled all my books while I was in school. If you turn the back of my book, you have lots and lots of drawings in them. So when it got to the time to decide, what do I do with my life now? I was going to take up a career. That's I think somewhere in 2010. So I didn't know what career path to choose. So I was presented with that fine arts or architecture. Society told me architects are usually very
yeah, okay.
Stereotypes. Yeah, so that's how I became an architect. So it works backwards. I loved art before I loved architecture. So that's what I like it for me. So when I met architecture, I met computers because we used it a lot. So I was not trying to look for a way to balance it. Let's have a bit of computers and a bit of art. So that's where I got to digital art.
So that's where you got to digital art. Now, like we do in outside, we de-emphasize the token and emphasize more on the practicality. Now we actually met you at the park. Could we actually be can we stay in a place where we could actually do the demonstration? You could do something for us right here? Do you think it's good?
Yeah, we'll look for somewhere serene. I have my PCR and then we could book something up.
Oh fine, let's do it. Okay, yeah, thank you. Wow, you just got my picture. You want to do in a cartoon form?
Yeah, I'm going to get cartoon out of it.
Okay.
So, first of all, let me get the general shape.
Okay.
General shape of the goals before I go into details. So I have the shoulders, then I have this hand drop, and then this one goes to the waist, and then you have the body.
I want to ask, this art, how long does it take to learn it?
Well, the thing is, you should already have the skill,
Okay.
the art, talent, or whatever we want to call it now.
Okay. As you can see, we're going to the demonstration part of the whole thing, so we're going to know how to do this. And like we're seeing right here, we have a picture that he's actually using to form a cartoon form. And trust me, the picture is mine. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. So let us watch him do his thing. So please, can you tell me how long it takes for one to learn this form of art?
This form of art, the way it works is you usually have the art scale in itself before you transition to this.
Okay.
You, like me, for me, it took me 3 days to transition from traditional art to digital art.
Okay.
Yeah, it took just 3 days. But the thing is, you already had the talent. You already knew how to draw.
Okay.
You should already know how to draw, because this whole setup will not improve your art. It will not make you better all of a sudden.
Okay.
If you know how to draw, yes, this would kind of enhance your drawing because it's digital.
Okay.
But if you do not, then there is nothing it will do for you. You'll still be a very bad artist.
Wait for him to finish, and I see myself in the cartoon form. So please let us join him and watch him do his thing.
After I've completed the initial sketches, I then started to add flattened colors, which is what you are seeing on your screen now. The flattened colors added together. After the flats, I very good, and it will not look realistic. But even if it's a cartoon, even if we're not trying to get it 100%, but at least it should look close to what it is.
Action. 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 Action.
So after getting the floral patterns in our clothes to be as close as possible as to the real thing, I started to put in other colors that I had missed in the first place, like her earrings. I'm putting in the color for her earrings, then the colors for her nails, I also put that in, and then I put in the colors for her lips, try to blend it out, make sure they look the same. In case you are curious, I'm using a software called Photoshop. It's industry standard, and then it's really good for illustrating, and it's good for a bunch of stuff, both for camera work, photo editing, and it's good for a lot of things. So I'm using Photoshop right now to do the work.
Action. 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 Action.
So when I'm done with the flattening, that's adding the flat colors, I will now engage in what is called shading. This is done to give the object a three-dimensional feel. Like the real one, you see that it looks real. It looks like it has weight, it has shape. But the one I have is flat. It does not have any form of shape to it. But the process I'm going through now gives it depth, gives it shape, and that's why it's called shading. So I'm shading it now to give it to show how light reacts with it. The places that are not receiving light will be lighter than the places that are receiving light, and that's basically what I'm trying to do in this process. I'll use a couple of different ways to do this, but you can just watch and see how it works. Right now, the one I'm laying now is the cast shadows. That's the shadows that are cast by other bodies, affecting the drawing. After I lay this one down, I would also put some other layers on top of it. After the cast shadows, then I'll have my shine, the part where the objects shine. So those are the layers I'm going to be using, but I'll also explain as I'm going.
Action. Action. Action.
So when I was done with my first layer, that is the cast shadow. Now I'm about to start adding the normal shadow, the shadow cast by light, the shadow cast by the sunlight. So that's what I'm about to start doing now. This particular layer helps give the object more form. Why the other one I was doing shows the angles of the light, but this one gives the object more form, give the illustration form, give it kind of depth, I guess. Yes, it gives it depth, it gives it weight. That's what this particular
Action. Action. Action.
Then the one I'm doing now, the one I'm using the white wall, is the ambient light. This shows the bouncing of lights around the scene. It shows where light bouncing around. That's the one I'm doing now. It also helps to give the object shape. Basically, this whole process, the whole shading process, helps give the object a three-dimensional form.
Action. 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 Action.
So can you tell me how long does it take to do this kind of art?
How long to create this art?
Yeah.
Particularly on my screen. Depending on how much details I'm trying to put into the art,
Okay.
can take somewhere around from 4 hours to say 14 hours, depending on how much details I want to put in. Because it's digital bar,
Yeah.
so I can zoom in and go as far as I want. I can put in as much as your sweat, the skin textures, everything.
Like
I
the
can go.
textures.
Yeah.
So now, can you tell me what the link is? Because now, an artist would have actually gotten a pencil or the colors, to fix in the detail.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is the connection? What's the link between that of a traditional artist and that of the digital art?
Well, the difference is just the setup. The skill in itself is a skill, it's a talent you have to have before you get a graphics tablet and then a computer. But then, if you are not an artist, if you do not know how to draw before you got this, there is no magic. This will not make you Da Vinci all of a sudden. you still have to have the skill first, and then you transition to the setup, and then you can create excellent art. Yeah. So
Okay.
first of all, you have to have the skill, and then this is just a tool set. Just like I have my pen here, I have my erasers, I have all my brushes. Just that the difference is this is all digital.
Okay.
All digital.
yeah.
So I don't have to have a live pen. This one can serve both as a pen, a brush, a pencil. Everything is in this one.
So that's really amazing. Wow, I can't wait for this painting to be completed.
Then the next one, the one I'm doing now, this other process where I'm making some part lighter, it's called using a light shade on it. This helps to give the object, also gives it form. Basically every layer here gives it form, but the object reacts in different ways, and so light reacts differently. We are trying to compensate that in my the way light reacts in real life. I try to compensate that in my illustration.
I'm really enjoying this. So at this point I'm done with the body of the work, so I'm just adding hair. I'm trying to make the hair look realistic as well, so I'm shading the hair to make it look good. Shaded the hair correctly with light and darker shades. I will now work on the background so that I can put it up on my social media and other things. Also, I'll also clean out the drawings, make sure that there are no artifacts, there are no colors that are not where they are not supposed to be. I don't have colors where they are not supposed to be. Then when I'm done with that, I create my background. I can create anything, create any background that I like. After I've created my background and I am okay with it, I then sign my drawings and name it if necessary. Usually I just use my initial, I use my name Musa. I just write it there, and when I'm done signing my drawing, it's ready to go on the internet. I put it up on my social media, send it to the clients, and basically that's the process of illustration. That's how we go from where we started and to a finished book.
Oh It looks so amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nelson, for this. I really love it. Yay, I'm going to put it on my page right now. Thank you so much. See you after the break. Action. Wow, change they say is constant. Isn't it amazing to see how it all evolves? I hope today's episode on Outside has been a blast. I've really enjoyed today's episode. I hope you're going to stay with me same time, same station on PTV. I remain your host, Cynthia today. Bye for now.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Good evening and welcome once again to that favorite TV program where you know the feed away make Wednesday 6:30 reach through to 8 o'clock. The program when it be like say if you they watch we they tell you as it take they affect the grassroots. We know they hide them. The program where they call People Matter. Yes, now the program be this. Yeah, now the place where it be like say we they talk how it they affect people. Generally, how Nigerians they feel, wetin be their intentions, wetin be those things where they vex them, wetin they think about the society, the government of the day, or the government where they have passed. Now here we they talk the matter as it be, and we know the fear to talk am because, and we not the talk am for here like say we be professionals. We they talk am the way the people take send us, may we take talk am. Yes, now the program be this. Welcome once again for the next 1 hour 30 minutes we did together to rub mind to talk about issues when concern us as Nigerians generally. My name never changed, so my name to change. Make we stop naming ceremony. Now me they call Ghana must go. CFRO JP, aka Longman Boy Sister on the Portland Nigeria Fulfill Data, and that confirm Worry Boy. The GO Bishop die by fire ministry. Any attempt for anybody to go against the Ministry of Progress for Nigeria, he go collect them. Yes, at the time that once I bust up like this on Wednesday, only me know they waka, they come studio. And they come with my full entourage because I be like, actually they go for last fight, and actually they go for last fight. If only waka wants both catch him, kill him. Movie don't finish. So for the movie to get part 1, even season 2, go enter season 7, of course, I need to carry supporting actors for the body. So this evening, the studio full to discuss the matter what will carry come today. So I would like to welcome the people in the studio this evening to discuss matter, to move the matter from kilometer to the permanent side. Headquarters now with a good direct, so nothing they stop us. I'm going to start my introduction today from my very close right. For me, I'd always like to introduce them as one of the richest Malam Aboki from the west, from the north. And if you don't mind, here, I call him Professor. The only professor what we get for here. Professor where they make professor for France.
Kai.
Professor Wiseman.
Naam.
Welcome to
you
the
know,
program.
see, say we don't qualify for World Cup final.
Yes.
Now we be the France people somehow. Now, thank you, Mr. Ankwak. Now I want to call you Alhaji Ghana Mosogo. Alhaji Ghana Mosogo.
Say Alhaji.
Alhaji Ghana Mosogo.
Say Alhaji.
You cover poster. You know, you must win even they no do poster for you. Do you understand? I like the way you introduction me. My bele konde do me lebe. If to say bele na show glass, you for see how my small kidney, they dance past my big kidney today. Thank you very much, viewer. Welcome and good evening. You will enjoy this program today, not be tomorrow.
And of course, that one a wise man, Professor Wise man.
Then they call her right.
And of course, to my very close left, now one of the most educated man all the way from the western part of Nigeria, Oluwajimo. Oluwajimo, welcome to the program.
Good evening. My people, good evening. You know, because I've not found you and see you since last week, I'm greeting you, all of them. Don't mind some people that claim to be professor. How can Nigeria qualify for final when we know that we have actually came to drink water before we know we are now in Nigeria? So, good evening and welcome to People Matter. And I know that this evening you are going to contribute so well and very good, and everything will be working better for us. Please make your contribution and make sure you are part of what this program is.
All right, Oluwajimo, welcome. Mona, if una 2-1 is today, I don't make up my mind what I go do. I go just exchange the seat so that una fit fight. As the country is either you fight or they beat you. For those of you I don't know, we see fire shade this evening. Whether they beat him or a fight, the picture never really clear. But get what happen, they don't put
Ghana, you don't have to be insulting. You don't have to be insulting.
So I just tell you, say if una 2-2 is past my ear, I go just change. We
not
get
be only POP. Don't go put block industry for
we get ambulance on our side. So make I introduce my friend and my brother, okay, to my very far left. As for me, now one guy when I respect a lot, and I always tell you now, if you ask me the name I like call him now Edward, but of course, okay, representing the Edo people, in name na King Zina. King Zina, welcome to the program.
Wabota, Menon, King Zina, the Egogo of Edo land. The only title person in People Matter, the official title.
What is the meaning of that?
Person in People Matter. Every other title holder in this program, they are all either illegal or honorary title, or we don't know where they get the title from. I'm the only recognized title man by the Oba of Benin representing in Abuja.
You will tell us if this place is Oba or Benin.
I don't understand what you are saying. What kind of thing is that?
Benin is your problem. It's
I
not
don't
our
understand
problem.
what he's saying.
You know the truth. Be said.
There's a way you talk.
You know.
You turn to tortoise deer.
Do you know?
See, let me tell
you.
Let me tell you.
Right.
For this country now, when somebody tell you something, you have to respect him. You know, say if you look the way things they happen now, we are not too sure who is doing who. But with what we see for Ekiti, when Ngige do the openly campaign now for PDP. We are now suspecting that some demonic activity
there is a spirit somewhere. There's something somewhere doing
that we cannot really I cannot particularly tell you now unless my Oga at the top decide to say something. Yes.
That is it.
So now so the matter be. But anyhow, welcome back. Of course, now the program I tell you now where we talk about issues the way it be. The way people tell they discuss them for street now, so we tell they discuss them for here. We know the package the matter. So sharply and quickly, make it for not waste time to avoid story that touch. Some people, and some people don't use Bejen right, they look the matter, they ask, wait till be the topic. Talk, may we begin to synchronize, augment, contribute to make sure say we move the topic ministry to the permanent side. Today, what we want to focus about and we want to discuss about. Now, something when it be like, say, if you look this institution, you go see, say, this institution, they formed this institution for 1930. 1930, now they formed the institution. And since when they formed that institution, they don't change uniforms many times. Can't reach even today where we did the uniforms, they're still confused. We don't know the one be the real one, but we just the suspect anyone welcome, provided they show you ID card and IBC now from office, now they send them. And this same institution, as I talk to you right now, this institution get 20,000 stations ran Nigeria as I talk to you today. And the total number of personnel were from this institution as at today now 371,800 now from this institution as at today. But meanwhile, government they say the number no reach. Make we see whether we fit try achieve 650,000 personnel to form this institution. We dey talk about no other institution, no other force, but the Nigerian Police Force. That we want to talk about today. And the topic, basically, what we want to talk about today, they're very simple. We as a people, we as a nation, we as Nigerians, we as citizens, whether patriotic or not, make we tell ourselves one single truth. We, they respect the Nigerian Police Force as a people, as citizens, as a race. We, they respect our Nigerian Police Force. That's what we want to talk about today. I know some persons go say yes, we respect them. Some go say we not they respect them. Some get different view and perspective to the whole issue. But we will try to see say we touch all of them. For inside the Nigerian Police Force, more than don't forget we get different arms for inside the Nigerian Police Force. We go try see how we go fit a touch on all of this. And in case you don't know, the most recognized and respected military or how you want to, whether not the police, army, the ones what we they respect for democracy as at now what we they talk, now the Nigerian police, now them now get power pass under the democratic system of government. So make we get that for our mind. And the person will be the Oga Pata for Nigeria, now in we they call IGP, the Inspector General of Police. Now be the Oga himself. And they talk about no other person but the one where a lot of people for streets know as the transmitter of the transmitter. That is our Oga himself. Now get power pass for the Nigerian Police. We want to talk about Nigerian Police today. Waiting we think from those of us who are in this studio we'll go discuss them. King Zina, make I ask you first, okay? Yes. We as a people, you feel say we they respect Nigerian police?
That question you just asked.
If yes, why? If no, why?
It's a very good question. I must thank People Matter because the type of issue we normally raise in this program is an issue that touches the people. You cannot talk about Nigeria without talking about Nigeria Police Force. You understand me now? You see, when you hear the name Nigeria Police Force, the kind of thing that comes to your mind, you are already thinking of Ekunje. You are already thinking.
What is it? Say Egunje.
You are telling
say Egunje.
Egunje. We are already thinking of Roger. You are already thinking of different names you talk. One of the things that comes to your mind again, you just be thinking naturally, bribery, corruption. Bribery, corruption.
Yes.
You understand me now? One of my friends thought say, if armed robber they come for here, police they come for here. He said go the same armed robber day. He said because they fit change their mind. You understand me now? He said but the other side police they
you
understand me now? He said that side they go, they at least that side they go rob you, you go. He said but the other one they will so they'll collect, they arrest you, Jonah. You understand me now? Then they not go collect only the one way they with you. Your friends, they'll collect the ones who deal with your friends and your family member. You understand me now? That one now, that my friend, personal objective about the Nigeria Police Force. You understand me now? But that image, not be total conclusion of the image of Nigeria Police Force. Because for this program, we'll still try to talk some of the good thing about them. But predominantly, my grandma is peaceful.
As you speak as I will lower Jim or not there.
As I read before I call, it nearly confuse me.
But generally, the first notion where they come our mind, be say if you just talk police, you dey think of bribery and corruption. Like you talk, people matter. We dey talk the thing, the way people think. Not be the way it's supposed to be, but the way people think. But if you come ask me the way me think, because right now, from Edo State, you understand me now, everybody go talk about the area. Right now, if you call police now, say armed robber dey rob for this road, they not go. You understand me now? Tell them say 42 armed robbers dey rob for this road, they not go. But tell them say one Yahoo boy dey pass
for that
place. Yes. Come arrest one Yahoo boy. You understand me now? So now so the thing be now. Right now for Benin, you no fit drive better motor again. If you get motor, you no drive the motor. If you dey gauge, no need to gauge again. If you gauge, you get problem.
You get problem
so
with police.
It's part of it. So the people generally, I call somebody today now, they just arrest am because of phone. He not get motor. They arrest am in future. So that's one of the problems.
Okay, maybe they tell us that they see and I say go do Yahoo later.
Yes, they arrest am as a future Yahoo person. So for the president, he never start Yahoo. But the good thing that they see bail am later.
Okay.
For the matter, they bail am for the future
for
crime.
For the future crime when you commit. Okay. Well, again, one thing when I also feel say we supposed to do, where they important because whether we like them or not, the policemen wey they see for streets today, now some people brother, now people parents, now people papa, now people mama, now people when it be like say their work generally supposed be. So when I say suppose, because a lot of Nigerians feel say not be waiting that they do, okay? So their work, constitutional duty, supposed to be to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians who will be the citizens. And of course, a tragedy before them for Abuja here, about a week ago, when they killed about 7 of Nigerian police, unknown gunmen attack and kill them for somewhere around the Galadima roundabout, we want, honestly, from the depth of our hearts, the people, our condolences to those police parents, their wives, their families, their kids, all of una. What make una know say una die good cause for good cause. We also realize say yes, una choose to wear that uniform because una want to protect the lives and properties of Nigeria. So may the souls of all those police when die, may they rest in peace. We're going to still talk about the issues like that because it happen even for different states right now. This one are just Abuja own. Probably maybe now make even generate the kind attention when it generates. So we're going to talk about issues of the poor funding of the Nigerian police. The fact that they're not to get the necessary weaponries, okay? If any word like that, I'm not any way a security personnel, and I'm also not an armed robber, so I will not know what the terms are. But in case anyone like weaponry, they're not the
but even if you're not there, suppose
even if you're not there,
too sweet for you.
It's sweet. So I'm supposed to put on
weaponry, that
original. It can't make us sweet. So I'm supposed to give them good, tools, make them take work from aspect of both gadgets. Look, time don't pass when Nigerian police supposed to do manual policing. Waiting happen to drones, waiting happen to those, gadgets. This stage where we then I get where police not even supposed to go. They're supposed to do some kind things, do the work. But make I come back to our discussion, what we did discuss here today. Now I make you see say the shirt when I wear today and the cap anyway, now just to also join say may the rest in peace. But if you read what they write for this cap, you go see say they talk say die by fire. They die by fire, what would they talk? Now all those people where they against the progress of our country, when all make it better for us, where they make us they suffer, whether not the police or that the shop push Nigerian police money or that the shop money that will buy ammunition, now then we they say may they die by fire. We not go also forget those where riots, okay, for Meduguri, say there are 6 months area. Say somebody sit down, press them. Just the use that they sway, the use that they spread. People like that too. Now those kind of people now with the tell this to say may they take them. Why is Mala? We they respect Nigerian police.
To Generally, no.
Okay.
But personally, yes. Me, I respect them. Now, I am not respecting them because they don't have bad